guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl jadatyshene back with another video, and we're gonna get straight into it. I'm using my e.l.f. Power Grip Primer to start off by prepping the face, and I'm just going to be rubbing that all over the skin. And I'm not going to use moisturizer, just solely the primer just to prep the skin before we go straight into the foundation. For foundation, I'm going to be going in with my Maybelline Super Stay Foundation in the color Coconut, and I'm only going to be using 1.5 pump. I like to use as little to no foundation as possible. I really like a natural beat, so I use 1.5 just to get all over the skin. And as you guys can see, I just put dots everywhere, even under the chin, before I start going in with my foundation brush. And as you guys can see, I'm just buffing it in everywhere. I'm not really rubbing. As you guys can see, I'm kind of patting everything in. To make the foundation even and make it look like skin, what I've used is my beauty blender, and I went in with my e.l.f. setting spray, and I just make sure to pat the foundation in everywhere just so it can look as skin-like as possible. For concealers, I'm going to be going in with my Lancome outerwear concealers, and I don't exactly remember the colors, so I'm going to drop it down in the description box. But as you guys can see, that I'm only placing it above where my nose is, and I'm placing it down the bridge of my nose, a little bit on my forehead, and I'm going to be placing some under my lip and a little bit on my chin. And these are the only highlighted places where I'm going to place the concealer. And for extra brightness, I'm going to be going in with this e.l.f. concealer. I think it's deep caramel. I'm also going to put it in the description box, you guys. And I only put it under the eyes for a little bit extra brightness. So now I'm going to be patting everything in, and I first start off with the chin, then I go under the lips, and I just do everywhere except the eyes. I do the eyes last. Also for the nose, this is the only place where I actually swipe. Like, I don't pat it in, and I swipe down the middle, then I buff off the edges. I know I kind of went through that process fast. For the concealer under the eye, first I start off by blending out the edges first, as you guys can see. And I just pat the whole time. Throughout this video, I'm going to be patting, no swiping except the nose. But first, I'm buffing out the edges, and then I start to go up. And when blending out the edges, make sure to stay where you put the concealer is. Do not go down, because that'll start to blend into the contour that we're going to put. But now, after we blend out the edges, we're going to go under the eye, and we're just going to blend out the rest of the concealer before we add some more. So now this is the lighter shade that I'm going to be using, and I only put it in the inner corner. That's it, and I let it sit. For bronzer, I'm going to be using this black opal stick. I think it's Suede Mocha. And this is just going to add a little bit of definition, and I only apply it to the forehead, to the nose, as you guys can see, and I also applied it under where I had my concealer. Here's a tip: if you're unsure where to put the contour on the sides, do not go past your eye. As you guys can see, my contour doesn't go past the end of the corner of my eye. So now what I'm doing is the same thing. I'm buffing it out, and I'm also using my foundation brush. This is going to give you the best blend. And I start off with the sides, and then I buff out the forehead. And with the forehead and the sides, I kind of swipe and buff. I do a little bit of both. Also, make sure to only buff where you put the bronzer at. Don't go down, don't go up, stay where you were at. For blush, I'm going to be going in with my Juvia's Place liquid blush, and what I'm going to be doing is applying it to the back of my hand and then using my beauty blender. This is going to allow me to have as much as control as I can with the blush placement. First, I start off by adding a little bit to my jaw, and then as you guys can see, I start going upward, and the whole time I am pushing it in, I'm patting it in, no swiping or anything. Then I start to add a little bit under my eye just so I can give it a little bit extra blend. Also, I place the blush where the bronzer and the concealer meet. If I go too far down with the blush, I just go back in with my concealer brush and I just clean up my little mistakes. And now for the concealer part, I buff out the edges again. And after I blend out that line, I actually drag it down a little bit towards my mouth. And then for the inner corner of the concealer, I drag it on top of the bridge of my nose. Or is that the end of my nose? Y'all see what I'm doing? To set my concealer, I'm going to be going in with my Mercier translucent powder, and I'm only going to be setting one side because as y'all can see, I didn't do the other side yet. And I'm just brushing off the excess and I blow it, and I'm going to be blending out once again just to make sure there's no creases under my eye, as y'all see. And then after I blend it out, I'm going to be going in with my puff powder, my whatever that thing called, and I'm just pressing it in. First I start off in the inner corner and I just drag the excess down and I drag the excess outwardly. And once again, I'm patting it in. I'm not rubbing or swiping. I'm strictly just patting it in just to make sure it's a flawless blend. And I'm also dragging it down on top of my blush, as you guys can see. And after I do one side, I go back and I complete the other side. As y'all can see, I'm doing the same steps. To blend out my nose contour, I'm going to be using my concealer brush. And this is going to give me the most natural blend. And for my nose contour, I am dragging it down. And I'm also dragging it up until not the tip of my eyebrow, but under my eyebrow, as you guys can see. And after I do both sides, I'm going to go down to the tip of my nose and just drag it out. And I'm going left and right. Now it's time to set the rest of the face. I'm going back in with my Mercier translucent powder. And I'm tapping it in above my lip, under my nose. And I'm just making sure there's still a seamless blend. And now I'm going back in with powder. Right here, you guys, I'm adding it to the chin, and then I add it to the side because I crease a lot, because I smile a lot. Now it's time to set the nose, and what I go is down the middle of my nose, and I add some more of the Mercier, and I also add it only to the middle of my. To carve out my contour a little bit, I'm going back in with my Mercier, and I'm going to apply it only under my contour. To set the rest of my face, I'm going to be going in with this e.l.f. HD powder. And please don't be like me. Make sure that you have the rest of your translucent powder all before you apply the HD powder, because as you guys can see, it kind of looks white. But I'm applying the powder under my face, under my chin, and then under where I put the translucent powder on the sides. And I'm also adding it to the rest of my nose, and also the contour or bronzer on my forehead as well. To bring warmth back into the face, I'm using my Juvia's Place Duo Bronzer Palette, and I use both. And I'm just swiping. I'm swiping right here, guys, and I'm adding it only to the bronzer or the contour, and I apply it a little bit over that line just to give it a blend. As you guys can see, I'm adding it a little bit above that line and on my contour as well to blend out that harsh line. After, I'm just going to basically be adding the bronzer to where I put that bronzer stick earlier. So on the forehead, on the sides, and on the nose again. For blush, I'm going to be going in with this House Labs blush in Dragon Fruit Days. And I apply a good amount of blush. I love blush, y'all, as y'all about to see. So I start off with my jaw, and then I bring it upward at the same place where I applied the cream blush. I'm going to apply the powder blush, and I also drag it under my eyes. This is going to give you the most flawless blend, and I also added a little bit to my nose. I also do a tapping and a swiping motion kind of at the same time, as you guys can see, and I thought I added a little bit too much, so I went back in with my powder brush and blended out. But now I add a concealer to my eyes, and then I'm setting with the e.l.f. HD powder, and I'm going to be adding the same bronzer that I used on the sides and using it as an eyeshadow. Also, I want to let you guys know that my eyebrows are stained, so I didn't fill them in this video. But to set the rest of the face, I'm going to be using this highlighter color in my Morphe That's Rich palette, and I'm just going to be using this to set the rest of the face. And I'm going to put the powder basically everywhere except for on top of my contour and my blush. And also, I'm not going to be adding it under my eye. To set under my eye, I'm going to be using this Maybelline Fit Me powder, and I'm only going to be applying it under there. For my bottom eyeliner, I'm using this Urban Decay 24/7. I think it's a waterproof eyeliner, I'm not sure. And to help me put eyeliner on at the bottom, I kind of use my fingernail to hold my face down a little bit to glide it across. For my other eyeliner, I'm going to be using my e.l.f. liquid eyeliner, and what I do is first I angle my brush and I only apply the end lines to help I line it up with the corner of my eye. And now for the inner corner part, I'm doing the same thing, gently sliding over. Please take your time with this, but I'm sliding it over until I get to the end of the line. Now that I made it to the end of the line, I'm going to flip the applicator and I'm going to place it a little bit above that line before I drag it across the opposite way. For mascara, I'm going to be going in with my Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara, and I'm going to be applying a little bit of mascara to my bottom lashes. And you guys, I love this. This is my favorite part of the whole makeup look. As y'all can see, I kind of messed up and added some under my lashes. So to fix that, what I'm going to do is I let it dry, and then I use the same color of concealer that I added to the inner corner, and I'm just going to pat that concealer on top and let it dry. For lip liner, I don't remember what color this is. I think it's a Ruby Kisses lip liner in dark brown. But I'm just lining my lips, and then y'all know how to line your lips. I shouldn't have to describe it to y'all. But after that, I'm going to be going in, and I do the sides as well, as y'all see that I'm doing. But now I'm going to be going in with my Maybelline liquid lipstick, and I think this is the color Poet. And I just add a little bit mainly to the middle of my lips, then I blot it out. Next, I'm using my NYX. This is Milky Lip Gloss, and I don't remember the color, and just apply it all over. Now to set the rest of the face, I'm going to be going in with my Morphe setting spray and spray it all over. Then I'm going to go straight in with my e.l.f. Stay All Night setting spray and apply it right on top. I don't let it dry down. I do it right on top, y'all. And then I let it air dry. And then recently I started using highlighter again, y'all. I'm using this light to medium palette. You can find any highlighter, doesn't matter, but I just apply it to the tip of my nose and then down the middle of my nose, and I apply a tiny bit to my jaw and also to my sides, as y'all can see that I'm doing. And I blend it out because I just want it to look natural as possible. And I have a mole on my jaw, so I apply that back again because when I put makeup on, I can't see it. But then I add another mole to the top just because I think the little moles be cute. And you guys, this is the final look. I love my makeup routine, but you guys let me know what you guys think about this video, what you guys think about this look. And I love y'all. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know what other videos you guys also want me to do. Bye.